Okay, well, which bands do you tend to use most? Do you have preferred bands?
Okay, my favorite bands, my absolute favorite, and I'm not on them a lot because they're not always functioning. I like 15 very much. I like 17 very much because they're quiet. I love 10 when it's open. So those are really, those are a gift. You can get some great DX on those bands. Most often you will find me on 40 and 20 because that's where the action is. You know, that's where the party people hang out. For sideband only, right now I'm also on 80. I cannot yet do 80 CW. I'm going to need some other kind of antenna for that. The gap is pretty okay on 80 for sideband. It's pretty okay. The SWR is manageable, not for CW. So that's the compromise antenna for 80. So I'll have to get another antenna, and I'm hoping what I'll be able to do is get an antenna that can give me 80 CW plus 60. I'd like to be able to get on 60. I think that's an important band. So
yeah, 5 megahertz is fantastic. It's absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, I'd like to do. I've not experienced it. My rig will do it, but you know, what do they say? The spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. I have to get the right antenna for that. Oh, and I love 6 meters when it's working. When 6 and 10 are open, I'm doing the happy dance. That's always fun.
Do you think you'll ever venture into the really excessive one, top band?
Probably not. I think, wow, you can go in so many directions with this hobby. You could live 100 years and never experience everything this hobby has to offer. That's a very good question. No, I think I have to set my limits and decide in the limited time I have available to me for operating, where I want to direct my efforts. I do a little UHF, VHF. I do DMR. No, I think even if I wanted to string yet another antenna outside, I doubt I will go in that direction.
Okay, well, here's the question for you. Out of all the different contacts that you've made, and you've probably made a lot of them at this stage, which ones kind of can you remember as being sort of the really impressive ones that you made, and that you kind of went, oh wow, I can't believe that I made that contact?
Oh my God. Well, my first CW contact, CW on CW, my first contact, and these are recent, were New Zealand. I run 100 watts. I don't have an amp. We're New Zealand, South Africa, Alaska. Now I've done New Zealand sideband. I've done Alaska sideband. I've done, I've worked Australia, and the guy won't send a QSL card. He said he mailed it. I sent him more money. He said he mailed another one. I don't think I'm going to send any more money. I'm just going to work another guy in Australia. Those are memorable in terms of distance. Okay, but remember, for me, it's also about communication. And there are memorable contacts you can have that are really right around the corner from you, by virtue of content, by virtue of the connection you make with the people. I work a lot of special event stations. By that, I mean, I will chase them because I love them. And I remember connecting with the Navajo Code Talkers special event station. and I worked the son of one of the original Navajo code talkers. That to me is touching history. It's fantastic. What those guys did during World War II was remarkable. And to be able to connect with somebody who is descended from that history is that's an honor. That's really an honor. So that special event, and there've been some fun ones. I operate as a special event activator. So I have done a couple of 12 Days of Christmas ones. This year I did the 4th of July. I'm sorry, last year. I did my first Straight Key Century Club K3Y. Talk about sweaty palms on that one, but that was fun, connecting with everybody. My first contact on sideband as a general class operator was on 10 meters, my first QSO ever with Poland. That was just cool because it's like, how could your first contact be DX? That just got me really fired up. But as I say, most of the times what makes the contacts memorable for me is not necessarily the distance. I mean, I'll go, wahoo, you wouldn't believe what I just, how far my signal went. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. I like that. But for me, it's what's said during the rag chew, or even the brief exchange you can have, which is why contesting is very nice. And I think people who do it are the athletes of amateur radio. They flex their muscles and they make their contacts out there and they rack up the points. For me, it's all about content, and it's all about what people can offer one another as communicators. And that makes all the difference in the world. Makes me happy that I studied and got my license.
I'm guessing from your passion and the way that you're presenting this, that you enjoyed the communication aspect. How do you feel about the whole thing of sort of the rubber stamp aspect that goes on in some parts of the hobby? Like, you're 5'9", you're 5'9" as well, and so are you.
Everybody's 5'9". Everybody's 5'9". Well, it's easy to be 5'9", I guess. What I have found, and maybe this is a little controversial, but I think it's important. I find among CW operators, and I'm new to this realm, so I'm not an expert, but I'm just speaking from my limited experience. You want a signal report. A CW operator will give you a signal report. They'll tell you you're 449. You're not coming in clearly. They will tell you. That's helpful. I mean, we're not here to praise one another with empty words. We're here to give one another, for lack of a better word, a radio check, a reality check. You want to know, is my signal getting out? Help me, what do I sound like? So we do that as a service to one another when we can. Oh, and I love nets too. I love being in nets, within reason. I mean, if you have something to say, you get to know people. And people give signal reports in the nets as well. And sometimes we'll give one another advice on how to improve that signal report. So it's all good.
Yeah, well, it sounds like you're definitely in part of the hobby that you really enjoy. You've found kind of your niche, as it were.